It is Kate here for another very casual Friday reads. Still no new laptop, but I think actually by next week it should be here and I should be up to doing like regular edited videos. But I figured until then it's nice to update you on what I'm reading and to show a really fun package that Sarai from Sarai Talks Books sent me. It was so exciting to get, and it was in super cute like purple and white polka dot wrapping, and I'm just very excited. The first one that she sent me is The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. I have not read this, but I've heard so many good things, and I just am very interested in it, and it sounds like very beautifully written, thought-provoking literary fiction. So I'm really excited about that. And then she got me an awesome edition of The Vault by Ruth Rendell. I don't think I had any Ruth Rendell in this like kind of newer edition, so it was really exciting to get this. I just love like the bright yellow on here. And this is in the Inspector Wexford series, as it says at the top, but it is also a sequel to her standalone, A Sight for Sore Eyes, which I read a couple months ago. So I am really looking forward to giving this one a try. And just there was kind of no resolution at the end of A Sight for Sore Eyes, so I think it coming into an Inspector Wexford novel would help with that resolution. So I'm really looking forward to when I get to this. I have about 3 more in the Wexford series to read before I can read that one. And then she also sent me Bel Canto by Ann Patchett. And this sounds like a very interesting plot. It says somewhere in South America, at the home of the country's vice president, a lavish birthday party is being held in honor of the powerful businessman, Mr. Hasakawa. Roxanne Koss, opera's most revered soprano, has mesmerized the international guests with her singing. It is a perfect evening until a band of gun-wielding terrorists take the entire party hostage. But what begins as a panicked, life-threatening scenario slowly evolves into something quite different, a moment of great beauty as terrorists and hostages forge unexpected bonds, and people from different continents become compatriots, intimate friends, and lovers. So I'm very interested in this, and Ann Patchett is an author who I hadn't really heard of until BookTube, and it seems like a lot of people really like her. So I am really excited to try that. And then the last one that she sent me is this beautiful paperback edition of Burial Rites. And it seems like every single edition of Burial Rites I see is super beautiful. So I think this is absolutely stunning, and I love how it feels. It's like very matte. And Burial Rites is one that I really have been wanting to read, and unfortunately I didn't decide I wanted to read it until it was like hot in summer, so I think I'm going to save it for winter. I desperately want to read it now, but I think I will save it. It just seems to be incredibly stunning literary fiction, but more suited to the cooler months. And then she also sent me, this is so fun, some Bookish goodies, these adorable elephant bookmarks. The light is shining on them. So I'm just so excited about these, and I think I love kind of the like gold foil trim on them, and I think they're just absolutely adorable. And you kind of like pop it over a page. I'll show you, I have it in a book to illustrate. So it's just like very convenient how they're held. And this book, oh my goodness, I finished this yesterday. This is 9 Coaches Waiting by Mary Stewart. This is the author I was telling you guys about. That's kind of the Daphne du Maurier-esque type mysteries, and she wrote in like the 40s and I think all the way into the 60s, and wrote so many of these mysteries, and this book was absolutely amazing. I gave it 5 stars, no question about it. It starts out like Jane Eyre, where she's this governess in this mysterious house, but it's totally like way different than Jane Eyre. It's its own thing, but it was just so good. I could not put it down. I just zoomed right through it, and I'm so excited to do a full review of it for you all. But I went on Book Depository, and there are some paperback editions released in the UK that are absolutely beautiful. They're very like vintage looking, but really elegant, and I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship with Mary Stewart. I just love this kind of mystery. It's really its own thing, kind of like vintage gothic type thing. But it's very well written, has some beautiful quotes, but it's also just extremely engaging, and the plot was so fun. So that was a great start to my weekend to finish that. And then here are my goals for the weekend. The first is I want to finish A Suitable Boy, because Hillary and I wanted to finish that by the end of July. And I didn't read any of it this week. I still have the 200 pages left. So I just want to like sit down and buckle down with that today. And hopefully I could finish that today. I think that's realistic because it's very easy reading. Like it's not dense reading, even though this is such a long book. It sounds funny to say, but really, if you read it, you will understand. And then also, I am currently on Goodreads, reading, I think it's 9 books, which I think is a little ridiculous. So I have one book that I really want to get to, but I have decided that I'm not allowed to start it until I finish at least one book this weekend. And so then another book that I'm going to try to finish is Lark, Rise to Candleford. I hadn't read any more of it since I talked to you guys last week, and I really do enjoy it whenever I do read it, and so I'd like to do some more of that. And then the one that I've kind of read maybe like a couple more chapters of is East of Eden by John Steinbeck, that I'm not enjoying yet, but I have from a good source that if you get halfway, you will get to where you like really enjoy it. And I'm not going to DNF it. Like it's a classic. It takes a lot for me to DNF a classic. If I'm not enjoying it, I just set it down for a long time. So I'm just, yeah, don't see myself DNFing it anytime in the future. And then I just have 1.5 discs left of All Things Bright and Beautiful. This is the second, All Creatures Great and Small, and it's so good. And I have just really, really enjoyed going through this series all over again. And then I will be reading All Things Wise and Wonderful in August. And then the book that I will reward myself with if I finish one of those books is The Pilgrims Inn by Elizabeth Gouch. This is the second in the Elliott family trilogy. I went ahead and I read the second volume in the Kristen Lavransdatter series because those are both like part of my summer series that I want to read. But I went ahead and read that because I felt like that was more of a grind to read, and it really was. And so I didn't want to get bogged down. So I got that one over with, and this is going to be the more like fun treat. Kristen Lavransdatter is good. It's just not like fun. So I'm hoping that maybe I could finish some of those books that I talked about in order to reward myself with The Pilgrims Inn, because yeah, I'd like to fit it in because then I have a bunch of buddy reads coming up in August, which I'm very excited for, but I really did want to read the second Elliott family trilogy. So that is my weekend, and I will be, yeah, just trying to fit in reading whenever I can. I do have like a coffee date with my husband this weekend, so I think we could, I could do some reading during that, and then, yeah, in the evenings I have some time. So I hope you guys are going to have a good weekend. Let me know what you're planning on reading this weekend, and I will hopefully be, obtaining a new laptop soon and able to put up like more pretty videos for you guys. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you for another video soon.